Are you the renowned photographer? Is today's shoot your assignment? The woman standing before me gazes at me with excitement. It appears she recognizes me as the photographer she met at the beach. Despite frolicking in the sand with her family of three, she remains keenly interested in our conversation. Reflecting on my early days as a photographer, reminiscing about the skepticism and the scarcity of interviews, I find her enthusiasm nostalgic. Upon revealing my purpose, a photo shoot, she eagerly offers to be the subject, a stark contrast to my past struggles. I'm excited, but please ensure my child's face isn't shown, she requests, pointing to her adorable daughter of 2 or 3 years old, watching us with wide eyes. Of course, I assure her. Curious about the father's involvement, his pale expression and evasive response suggest reluctance. As it turns out, the man building a sandcastle with the little girl is my husband. I'm Monica, a 30-year-old freelance photographer, frequently hired for local school events and weddings. My work revolves around capturing joyous moments, shaping memories, and conveying emotions through my photographs. Yet, life took an unexpected turn. My husband, Alex, a busy businessman in leisure facilities development, traveled extensively. Despite our limited time together, his smile became my support. Our promise to support each other's careers led me to explore remote work in photography. Sharing landscapes and portraits on social media garnered attention, boosting my portfolio. Virtual galleries and online exhibitions attracted a wide audience, increasing followers. Embracing the possibilities of social media, I delved into live streaming, hosting talk shows, and explaining my photographs. This venture not only expanded my reach within the photography community, but also generated income. I enthusiastically share the stories and techniques behind my photos, finding joy and fulfillment in communicating through images. My active presence on social media contributes to a steady increase in my follower count, complementing my passion for capturing moments. With Alex still on frequent business trips, I spend more time with my in-laws. Fortunately, they take a keen interest in my social media activities, and I strengthen our bond by teaching them how to navigate smartphones and social media platforms. They become regular viewers of my photos and live broadcasts, providing companionship during Alex's absence. Despite the fulfilling days spent with my in-laws, a significant void lingers in our lives, the absence of children. Numerous tests have been undertaken, but the elusive dream of parenthood remains unfulfilled. This inability to conceive subtly casts a shadow over our relationship, intensifying over the years. Initially, Alex was supportive and cooperative in our quest for parenthood. However, the economic burden and time-consuming hospital visits gradually wore him down. The distance between us widened as he became more focused on work, especially as his project approached its climax, requiring extensive travel and prolonged absences. As the endless cycle of treatments continued, Alex's initial encouragement waned, and conversations shifted away from our shared desire for children. Loneliness crept in, exacerbated by his increasing indifference and a growing emphasis on his professional commitments. Despite feeling isolated, I endeavored to comprehend the demands of his busy schedule. Despite my efforts to understand, our feelings remained distant. Alex, busy with work, informed me about an upcoming project that would keep him away overnight frequently from the following week. I was just home when he casually mentioned it, already unpacking dirty clothes from a large suitcase. In a haste, I started the washing machine, knowing Alex's aversion to laundry and his preference for buying new clothes instead. Amidst the discussion about his business trip, I subtly brought up the hospital. Alex's response was firm. Going directly and taking a break next week was impossible. I sighed quietly, realizing that even my reserved hospital reservation wouldn't change his plans. I wanted to avoid causing trouble for his company, appreciating the recognition his work received. I suppressed my concerns, acknowledging that both of us were busy and focused on encouraging each other to do well at work. As I went about my day, the lingering question about our differing desires for children weighed on me. I hesitated to confront the issue directly, unsure if Alex still wanted children. The uncertainty played tricks on my mind, trapping me in indecision. One day, a letter arrived from a famous resort company holding a voucher for a luxurious seaside hotel stay for 3 people. Intrigued, I wondered why it was sent to me and immediately approached Alex. Carefully, I inquired about the unexpected gift, avoiding any accusatory tone. Alex, reading the newspaper with an expressionless face, stopped and looked at me. The air hung with unspoken tension as I awaited his response. His slight narrowing of the eyes and the piercing glare caught me off guard, a look I had never experienced before. Unable to conceal the sinking feeling in my chest, I awaited his explanation. All that, he casually dismissed. A colleague couldn't make it, so I made the reservation instead, and it got delivered here. It's nothing unusual, so give it back quickly. He extended his hand, and without a word, I handed over the envelope and voucher. Alex snatched them away, but upon inspecting the addressee, he appeared uncomfortable. "This is addressed to me, right? Don't open it without permission," he warned, and I hastily apologized. Accustomed to my husband receiving various direct mails for work, I didn't expect such a reaction. "I'm sorry. I didn't know if it was direct mail, so I just checked. I'm here today, so you could have asked, right?" I explained, but Alex took the envelope to his room, leaving me unable to inquire further about the mysterious ticket. Despite my lingering doubts about his need to book a ticket for a colleague, I reluctantly accepted Alex's explanation. However, less than half a month later, another incident unfolded. It was April, just before a long weekend. A memorial service was scheduled at my in-laws' house, but suddenly, Alex declared he had to go on a long business trip. I was initially speechless. A business trip during the long weekend. In my line of work, I'd often receive requests for landscape photos from families during such times, and I had already taken time off for the memorial service. This situation posed a significant challenge, especially for a freelancer like me. Generally, companies observe time off during long weekends, but Alex's sudden declaration of a business trip disrupted our plans. He shrugged his shoulders, offering a forced smile, explaining the unexpected work demands. "I have to work on my day off. Can't be helped, right?" He justified, then requested that I attend the memorial service in his place. Despite knowing his dedication to work, there were moments when his commitments felt like a thorn in our relationship. In the end, he left for work with his favorite suitcase, leaving my in-laws informed at the last minute. Although they were displeased with his attitude, they refrained from making me uncomfortable. "I'm sorry we made plans and he couldn't make it. I'll get Alex a piece of my mind next time I see him," my mother-in-law expressed, but all I could manage was a forced smile. Originally planning to stay a few days after the memorial service, I extended my visit to keep my in-laws company. I filled my days taking photos of their daily lives, capturing scenes I wouldn't typically focus on. Despite planning photo shoots to pass the time, the absence of Alex, who was supposed to be there, lingered. Seeking a change of mood, I ventured to the beach one station away. Families were enjoying outings, and people strolled and sunbathed under vibrant beach parasols. As I walked along the shore with my camera, a familiar voice caught my attention. Spotting a family building a sandcastle, I froze when I saw Alex in the circle, constructing it with a young woman and a toddler. They seemed like a close-knit family, gathering white sand and seashells. Shocked, I couldn't believe my eyes, as everything, the hotel vouchers, frequent business trips, and his growing indifference, piled up like sand before me. If this were a commissioned work, it would be an ideal family scene worth capturing multiple times. However, despite my husband's presence, I couldn't comprehend it. The toddler, a 2- or 3-year-old girl, closely resembled the time when I sensed Alex drifting away. The realization struck me, my husband already had another family. Whether it was intuition as a wife or a gut feeling, I recognized a blood connection between that little girl and Alex. The glass frame in my heart, meant for a photo displaying our happy smiles as a couple, shattered mercilessly. Determined, I approached the woman, not Alex, who was engrossed in playing with the toddler. Approaching the woman wearing a large straw hat, I could sense her surprise at my sudden presence. With a managed smile, I apologized for the abrupt interruption and handed her my business card, introducing myself as a freelance photographer. While only my professional name was listed on the card, I encouraged her to find me on social media where my contact information was available. Her curiosity piqued. She immediately began searching for me on her smartphone. On the other side, Alex, undoubtedly aware of my presence, seemed frozen, staring at a point on the sandy beach. "If you don't mind, could I take a photo of your family?" I suggested, weaving in my live broadcast activities where I shared photography tips. "Wow, you're Monica. I followed you. You post tips on smartphone photography, right?" she exclaimed, unaware of my connection with Alex. Delighted to be approached by a social media personality, she eagerly agreed to the photo shoot and the live broadcast. Feeling guilty about the deception, my goal was to somehow document Alex's other family. The woman, enthusiastic about the photo shoot and live broadcast, requested photography tips for moms, including Alex. However, Alex, clearly in a panic, declined, attempting not to make eye contact with me. "No, maybe we shouldn't like showing faces. But I do model for pamphlets," she added, revealing that the woman he was cheating with was a model named Nancy, whom he met through his company's public relations. Assuring her that I would make sure not to show the child's face, I adjusted my smartphone camera accordingly. I set up the environment for an immediate live stream and commenced the broadcast as if I were providing tips to other mothers. With the child carefully kept off screen, Alex became the center of attention. His peculiar smile was interpreted positively by viewers, and comments about the cute, nervous dad quickly spread. After concluding the live broadcast, I thanked him and discreetly left the scene. Within a few minutes, Alex chased me down, leaving Nancy and the child behind. As I questioned him about his intentions, he remained silent, seemingly sulking and perhaps feeling awkward with Nancy, seeking refuge in our encounter. Finally, he spoke heavily. "Please understand." However, he provided no explanation, leaving me perplexed about what he expected me to comprehend. His next words revealed a shocking truth. "Well, I can see it though. It couldn't be helped, right? I had a child with her before you and I had one. It's okay. Nancy's family is rich, and she says we don't need to get married." Alex, now defiant, confessed to the reality of his double life. It was hard to believe that a young woman who got pregnant would accept such a convenient arrangement. I speculated that Nancy realized he was already married, and in his rambling confession, he expressed his desire for children and praised Nancy and their child. "It's not that I started to dislike you or didn't want to live together anymore," he rambled incoherently, leaving me with a pounding headache. His insistence on continuing life as it was now, assuring me that he wouldn't cause any trouble, left me speechless and suffocated. I should have argued that this situation was far from fine, but the weight of my emotions silenced me. In front of my silence, Alex seemed to believe he had persuaded me. With a somewhat triumphant sigh, he attempted to leave. Unexpectedly, two people rushed over, interrupting the strained moment. It was my in-laws who unexpectedly rushed over, demanding an explanation for the presence of the unknown woman and child. My father-in-law, his face filled with anger, demanded to know the truth. "Why? We saw it on the live broadcast notification. Who said you were on a long business trip? You didn't even come home, and now there's an unknown woman and child." My mother-in-law stepped in between us, fiercely scolding Alex. Surprised and cornered, Alex flinched at the sudden appearance of his parents. They had witnessed the live broadcast on social media, realizing the gravity of the situation. Shocked to see Alex appearing as a couple with an unknown woman, they hurriedly drove over to confront him. Under the intense questioning of his parents, Alex had no choice but to confess everything about his relationship with Nancy and the child. His mother didn't hold back, delivering a strong slap and calling him a disgraceful son. My father-in-law, glaring at Alex with a terrifying expression, seemed ready to escalate. But my mother-in-law intervened with another slap, sparing him from further physical consequences. My in-laws took me away, leaving Alex behind to face the consequences of his actions. Later, with their apologies and strong encouragement, I made the difficult decision to pursue a divorce. Alex and Nancy had a thorough discussion about their affair, and I received compensation for the emotional damage caused by their actions, temporarily settling the matter. As I engaged a lawyer and initiated divorce proceedings, several facts came to light. Firstly, Nancy was fully aware that Alex was married. Her understanding of the situation, coupled with her willingness to continue the relationship even after getting pregnant, suggested that she was somewhat prepared to be involved with a married man. It became evident that she didn't raise any issues not only because of financial considerations, but also to prolong her relationship with Alex as much as possible. In the aftermath of the scandal, various revelations unfolded. Nancy, initially unaware that I was the other person involved, was outraged when she discovered my identity. Blocking me on all social media accounts, she defensively posted on message boards, inadvertently making her the subject of public sympathy. Despite causing trouble at her parents' house due to her relationship with a married man, Nancy audaciously contemplated moving into my in-laws' house. This proposition, of course, was firmly rejected by my former in-laws. As the investigation for the compensation claim continued, more secrets about Alex came to light. Countless women were discovered around him, and he had been having affairs during every business trip. Some of these mistresses were engaged or married themselves, leading to a cascade of legal actions against Alex. To expose the truth, I sent the data of the live stream in question, revealing that I, the legal wife, was the one broadcasting, showcasing Alex's mistress and their child. Enraged women who had been deceived into thinking he was single, along with husbands who had their wives stolen, stormed Alex's place, leading to numerous lawsuits against him. Facing legal repercussions from all directions, including me, Alex had no choice but to accept them all. However, more facts emerged, and Nancy unexpectedly took the child and ran away, likely disgusted with her relationship with Alex. Despite the online uproar caused by Nancy, her account disappeared, and I decided to let her go. Nancy, true to her character, resurfaced with a new account, portraying herself as a victim of tragedy. However, each time she faced backlash, she would delete her account and create a new one, reviving herself like a phoenix. Abandoned by Nancy, and with plans to rely on my parents-in-law thwarted, Alex faced their fury when they discovered he had multiple mistresses. Desperate, he clung to them for help. But without apologizing, he further strained their relationship, leading my in-laws to cut ties with their son. The aftermath of the affair scandal left Alex with substantial compensation to pay. Legal proceedings and inquiries from mistresses and their husbands flooded the company, damaging its reputation internally and externally. The loss of trust prompted urgent measures to manage the online backlash. Within the company, Alex's reputation plummeted, and he became isolated. The uncomfortable atmosphere led the company to wish for his resignation, forcing Alex to find a new job. Despite securing new positions due to his track record, his behavior remained unchanged, causing one trouble after another. In contrast, I maintained a relationship with my ex-in-laws even after the divorce. Their continuous support and consideration allowed me to live a peaceful life. Despite feeling betrayed and hurt by their son, my former in-laws consciously showed a harmonious front, supporting me and helping me believe that my relationship with Alex was not the defining aspect of our marriage. After the divorce, capturing images of children was initially painful for me. However, with time and the support of my ex-in-laws, I overcame this difficulty. One day, I took a photo of my ex-in-laws having a calm conversation, planning to feature it prominently in my upcoming online exhibition. Despite their initial embarrassment, I believe they will find happiness in the end.